But again, congratulations to Rainer as he does shut Shin down. Does win the rematch after RSL. True. Does claim that series, and now we're getting to our next best of 3. We're getting to the quarterfinals, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Mothership, we have the teal Zurich player, the German Zurich, representing Shopify. It is Lambo. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player, we have the red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And thank you so much, Blake Aduz, for the donation, for the tip in the chat. Thanks for all the effort you put into these amazing streams. Thank you, Blake Aduz, thank you. We appreciate the support, we appreciate the donation. Again, donations and tips are typically very rare on this channel. We get them maybe once every couple of months. So thank you so much. We do appreciate it. Aye. Unfortunately, one of these days we'll get like a donation bar or something, but we don't have one, so we don't really get many. So thank you. We appreciate it, Papi. We appreciate it. Gracias. Hope you enjoy the content, the StarCraft, the casting. Hope you enjoy. As welcome on all to Mothership. Now, Mothership is a map that we have rarely seen in ZVT. Does have its own unique quirks. Mothership is a very large map, long rush distance by ground, very exposed 3rd and 4th bases. Because of that, I do favor Zerg traditionally in the mid game, in the mid to late game as well. If Lambo can get there, I do think the Lambo should have a stronger setup. We'll see how Cure will adjust his approach. I feel like being more passive and being more defensive is going to be hurting the Terran player. Cure, he is known a little bit for these 7-minute pushes with Hellbats. If he does preserve his Hellions, he can preserve them, turn them into Hellbats, and then move out with his first wave of tanks. And the goal there should be to break the 4th expansion of Lambo, but that should be what we build up towards, assuming it's a standard game. Bearing in mind that Cure, he is not afraid to mech. He's not afraid to mech it up. He's already done it a couple of times this patch. So Cure, he is willing to play mech against Zerg and against Protoss every now and then. Doesn't rely on it too heavily, but does like to mix it into a series. So our eyes are on Cure in regards to that. So far, Curie pokes in, pulls away, gets one circling so far. Nothing major, but nice pickup. And Lambo does take his expansion on the top side. Checking the vision here, Lambo, he's aware of Cure's spawn location. Cure, likewise, of course, aware of Lambo. And this going for a 3rd CC before starport. Economic build here by Cure. It's being very economic. From here, Cure does pull away. Getting to our add-on swap. So 3 ECC Banshee is the go-to here. They get a very standard build, very standard play out of Cure. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. Does use the Rex to hunt down the Overlord. Interesting. This doesn't have to lead into a second factory, but this does mean we have delayed production, delayed add-ons here on the Rex, for example. Rax does pull away. Oh no! The Overlord! Overlord does try to escape, but last does overshoot, and Lambo will lose the Overlord. And will lose it. It's going to be a lair first out of Lambo, a lair before any other tech structures. The Rax is staying in the air, which means we are getting into mech. We should be seeing extra factories. Uh-oh. I say that the Rax is floating back. Where are we going? Where are we headed? Again, the follow-up here is going to be late. Late follow, but there it is. We have 2 more factories on the way. It is going to be mech. So Cure is meching it up. There's a reason why we brought it up earlier, even like a minute ago. Again, Cure, he is known for mech to mix it into a series. Whether he does it every game or not, I mean, we imagine him to do it just once, but we'll keep an eye on Cure. We're going to be for a while. Now, when it comes to mech in the current patch, it is typically more traditional mech, like a heavy Hellion count into tank production, sometimes with Blue Flame early on, but less reliant on Cyclones, of course. Much less reliant. As Cure is going for his Hellion dive, I mean, you can see just how many Hellions there are. There's 10 Hellions that can morph into Hellbats. Armories are finishing up, and Hellbats can soon morph in. So we have 10 Hellions so far. Hellions, they poke in, they pull away. At the same time, Banshees into the main base. They do get a Queen. They got a Queen. As Curie does find a mineral line here. Thankfully, only half a mineral line. 8 drones do get burned up. They get roasted. Curie pokes in, pulls away. So far, solid damage, getting a Queen, getting 8 workers, and denying creep. And he's still not yet done. Now, behind this, I assume is going to be Blue Flame into tank production. It's going to be Blue Flame into Macville accelerators into Battle Bank. Of course, we'll delay Cyclone production, but he's getting into it. So Cyclones are on the way. Now, when it comes to Battle Mech this patch, it does have less staying power. It does have less strength than it used to. Less longevity. It's a better way of putting it. So it is something that you want to switch out of eventually. You don't want to rely too heavily on it. But I just realized Lambo is going Lingbane Hydra. Ooh, okay. So Lingbane Hydra is a very mobile composition, but it's also very fragile. This is not typically, I mean, it can work against mech, but as we just mentioned, it's a very fragile composition. One wrong move, one bad fight, and this army will melt. This is the advantage of Roach Ravager or Lingbane Roach Ravager. It is a much more robust composition. A little more robust. The tanks, and the tank the Cyclones. Yeah, boy. As Curie does shut down the Lingbane. This kind of leans on what we just mentioned, how it's a very fragile composition, but nice catch. Does get surround the Cyclones. It does surround the first wave of the Cyclones. Very nice done here by Lambo. Cyclones and Hellions are caught out. And this is actually a big win here for Lambo. At the same time, Hellions are trading well towards the south side, but still a better trade for the Zerg. Catching the initial army, and now Lambo can focus on the southern front. Secure does break in. As Curie does get lured out once again, Lambo, he attempts to surround, and can he get him? He can. Yeah, he will get the surround here. He locks down the Cyclones once again. Gets one. Oh, just the one though. Uh-oh. As this Lambo's turn to overextend. Lambo bleeding out a lot of units. Again, Lambo, he's heavily reliant on surrounding the army and locking it down. If he fails to do so, this happens. As the center base is going to fall. And Cure can keep pushing. Kills the expansion. Kills the base, pulls away. Lambo's working towards Infestors. And a Greater Spire. Okay. So getting into Infestor, then Broodlords as a follow-up. Interesting. Curie's getting 2 more starports, a fusion core. Is he going into BC? Okay. I assume it was going to be a tank switch, but he may just skip tanks and go straight for battlecruisers instead. Hellies to get in, 10 more drones going down. Again, Lambert, he is in trouble here. He's just stuck defending, stuck at home. Another Hellion dive, another Hellion run by. Yeah, one Lambo once again getting bullied. And the fusion core is done. Cure, what do you have for us? Oh, there it is. BC production has begun. Cure is rushing into BCs. Oh. Denies another expansion. So BC's alongside tank production. Okay, so we're done with battle mech. As Cure bleeds off Cyclones and bleeds off Hellions, he's going to be replacing them with tanks, with BCs, and with the Ravens. Just switching up his tech. Oof. You know, that's a kill, not a cancel. Aye, aye, aye. And Lambo just now trying to work towards Broodlords. Okay, interesting. Switching to Broods. I mean, that's what the Yamato is going to be for. Hellions, they once again get into the middle line. Oh my god, they roasted up 11 drone kills. 11 more drones go down. There's a scan that does confirm the Broodlords are within scan range. And again, it is BC time. And again, mass BC is the end game, right? That's the ideal. It can be dealt with Infestors. Infestors, they're heavily reliant. The story player is going to be heavily reliant on trying to get under the BCs, and Neuraling is to go for the mass Neural and to either have the BCs kill each other with Yamatos or have them spend their teleport and waste their teleport. And again, the Infestor cannon is relatively healthy. I think Bane crashing into Cyclones, not the best trades. Jesus. Cyclones, they just tank the Banelings. They don't even care. Does manage to get one of the tanks. There was on the chase. Doors are on the way. But he needs more time. Okay, he needs more time. And also, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Keep it. Thank you so much. For subscribing for 13 months. 13 months. Over a year of support. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing. As Yamatos are coming in, we do get neural up. Oof. Despite that, 1, 2, 3 neurals. Sorry, 3 Yamatos going off. There's this teleport, but alas, it doesn't really matter. There we go, another neural. We get the chain neurals, 1 BC goes down. As you mentioned, the one way to deal with these battlecruisers is going to be neural from the side of Lambo. as Lambo still just cannot expand. Lambo's trying to retake bases here. You can see how oversaturated he is back at home. His main natural third and fourth. Needs to jump his fifth. Does need to drone up. Oof. Yeah, lock-ons are brutal. Hatchery goes down. Sorry, just opening the window. It's getting very hot. It's getting very hot in here. Summer's hitting, Pappy. As we do see Cure going for a very risky maneuver. He does go for a big counterattack with his BCs. He wants that southern base. Of course, he can teleport back home. Go for the Amados. Good, 5 corruptors falling. Does teleport back. Getting a sick. He may even just kill every single corruptor here. Jesus. Yeah, the corruptors are falling. We do have the neurals coming in, but too little too late. And Curie gets away. Curie does teleport away. Again, being hyper efficient here with his battle cruisers. Lambo, he's finally getting his fifth. So his fifth base is getting up and running. How about didn't get too much done here. And Lambo, he is holding his own. He's able to build up a bank. Not the best bank. I mean, look at the efficiency of Cure. He's got 2k, 4k, sorry, 5k even, 5k gas. Crazy. Just shows just how much more efficient Cure has been. And how difficult it's been for Lambo to actually take more bases. But he's gotten there. Oh, and Lambo finally doing some counter damage. Does head towards those southern planetaries. Tries to at least. How many BCs do we have? 6. So it'd be 7. So it'd be 7 battle cruisers. Cure coming out ahead in this trade. Shouldn't get much more done as, yeah, the Broodlords are in position. The Broodlords are revealed, so the main army does push in. There's an opening. And Lambo knows it. He just gives up on the expansion. Pulls away. The base goes down. The base that Lambo fought so hard to take. He just needs a 5th base. Ah, no. Yeah, Cyclones, they counterattack. Lambo's being pulled apart. Oh, nice defense with the Lings. Nice catch. Very Hellions here, so Lings will clean up the Cyclones. And Lambo, you can see this is his mining base. This is it. He's got 1 base. Let's go. You can see here he's out of money at his natural. He's mined out of his main base. He's mining out of his. He's got one patch at his third. He's got what, 3-4 patches at his fourth base. That sort of base is keeping Lambo in this. It all comes down to the center expansion. And Cure, he's just still taking more bases. Like Cure, he has map control. He's taking more expansions, going for a fresh southern base as well. Cure still has a massive bank. He's got almost 8,000 gas in the bank. Crazy. Now Lambo still has a chance here. It is a rough game. It is a really rough game state, and it's been a really rough game in general for Lambo. Like he's been barely treading water. The armies are max, but they're not quite the same. Lambo still has potential to win one big fight, and to potentially, after that fight is won, to push into the main, base and claim the production. So there is still like a win condition here for Lambo, but he needs to win that main fight. So that's the first step. The Hellbats. Lambo has 15 infestors. Oh, Mr. Torque goes off. I should deter Lambo. This is giving Cure time. Depending on where Lambo positions, Cure can hit the northern base once again. As Lambo is making his way further south. Lambo's pushing in towards the southern bases. Looks like he wants to catch the army with these infestors. He has to be very careful though, just because there are ravens with the army, if you recall. Takes up the planetary at the same time. Top left is gonna fall as well. And we're going for the base trade. Yeah, Cure, he does not chase. So he doesn't chase, he doesn't get lured into the trap. Cure, he just counterattacks. And he forces Lambo to respond, as Lambo has to turn everything back around. Lambo does get to expansions, but these bases mean less to Cure is the issue. With the Broodlords being so slow, I do feel like Cure could have gotten another expansion. He could have gotten 2, but settles for 1. Nice thing run by. Ooh, Infestors get caught. Oh no! Jesus. Calm down. Okay, going for the master neural. Does try to release, but the infestors they get punished, they get shut down. There's one infestor left. Going for the master neural here on the Thors. Okay. Neurals the Thors instead. BCs are being focused down. It does focus on the battle cruisers. Better fight for Lambo. And Lambo will clean this up, but bearing in mind, Cure can remax. Cure, he can remax, but he needs time to do so. As Cure teleports away. And Lambo doesn't have enough. He does not have enough here. Lambo, looking at the trades, do we have a better, there we go, we have a better idea. That was 6 Infestors, 5 Broodlords, 5 BCs, 9 Thors. This was a better fight for Lambo, but unfortunately he doesn't have any pushing power to push into the production. So Cure is going to remax. Lambo, he will threaten the mining bases. Will deny mining. Lambo, he's just taking some fresh bases here towards the south side. Okay. So Lambo, he actually does have an economy. Cure is trickling in. Cure Pulls away. We'll lose one BC. We'll lose a second. Oh, no, never mind. Just one. Lose one battle cruiser. Lambo, he's broke. He needs to get gas mining going. No, he needs gas. Needs gas, papi. Lambo can still take a better fight. Once again, he's still heavily reliant on those infestors. Tank is going up. Here come the Neurals. Neurals are being broken. Yeah, it does barely neural the tank. And with that, he does overtake the Thors. Okay. Yeah, neurals the Thors. With that, Lambo is going to keep going. He has to just keep on going. He can't stop. Tries to rally in. At the same time, BC's a counterattack. 13 drones going down. Lambo, I mean, he doesn't have an economy to begin with. We're getting messy. Getting messy here. Lambo cannot turn around. He's going to keep going. Oh, Neuro's everything. Tries to neural what he can. He will start losing infestors. Expensive losses for Lambo. This is not worth it. No, this is not worth it. He throws away the infestors. Oh, no. Remember, infestors, they're supportive units, and they were just thrown away. That was 11 infestors going down. Ay, ay, ay. Losses that Lambo cannot afford. They can't afford that remax. Yeah, speaking of, Lambo, he's down to 3 infestors. Down to 3. You can see he's trying to build more. He's got 4 more infestors in production. Lambo was doing well. He was gaining ground. He was trading well. He was breaking through bases. But he did overextend. Again, losing 11 infestors. That was crazy. And Lambo, he lost bottom left, lost center left as well. Lambo, he's broke, right? He has 0 mining in his natural, nothing left in the main, nothing left at the third, the fourth base. This center base is now starting to mine out as well. This is it. This is all the mining. And here comes Cure. He's going for the last mining base of Lambo. And remember, Cure had a bank. Cure is maxed. Cure, he is able to remax. Lambo is not. Again, essentially, Lambo was all in when he pushed across the map, and Lambo had to end it then and there, but he overextended, had some miscontrol. And Cure has done it. At this point, Cure, he has done it. He breaks through the main army. He breaks down the only mining base of Lambo. He's long distance mining here from the top side. Desperately trying to get some economy. Yo, we're nearing Hellbats. Let's GG. GG gets called. And Cure will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Whew. Again, Cure, he will take the first game, will take a lead in the series. Again, it just came down to the fact that Lambo, he just had no economy, he had no money, he had no mining. He was desperately struggling to ever get a 5th base. It took him so long to get a 5th, to get a 6th, and he could barely maintain them as well. I will say that Lambo did have a much better fight initially, but we spoke about it. Lambo was basically all in. Like, he won the initial fight when he was able to he was able to infestate, so he was able to neural, when he was able to neural the Thors and overtake the BCs, but he had to keep going, he had to keep pushing, and things were honestly looking decent until Lambo overextended with his infestors. When the infestors were when they were on their own, the Broodlords were lagging behind, the Corruptors were lagging behind, the rest of the army was just behind, and the infestors pushed forward, and that's when he lost his momentum. He lost half of his infestors, if not more than that, then and there. That was GG. That was game. That was game then and there. GG, well played. With that, Cure takes the lead, and now we're jumping into game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. We're jumping into game 2. We're going to be loading into Tourmaline. Let's go. And spawning in the right-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the Teal Zerg player. The Teal Zerg player, the German Zerg representing Shopify. It is Lambo. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. We go. Is this it? Casito, papi, casito. But yeah, it was a really shaky start for Lambo as well, winding it all the way back to the beginning. If you remember, Lambo, he initially started against Q with Lingbane Hydra, which was a really interesting decision, and in the end it just wasn't worth it, just because it was trading so poorly against the battle mech. Again, Lingbane Hydra has potential if you're able to surround and lock down the army, but because the Lambo had so little creep spread, he never really had the opportunity to. I think there were 2 moments where he was able to lock down some cyclones, but outside of that, he was bullied by the battle mech, and he was punished for not embracing a roach-based army instead. So Lambo, he was bleeding out a lot of resources, a lot of units. But now we're getting into our next game. For those that are curious, Harstem, I believe he often does cast with Wardi, and for whatever reason, I think Wardi, he has Discord on mute or on deafen or something, or he doesn't have notifications on. So that's Harstem letting him know to pick up the phone, baby, pick up the phone. Este Harstem. For those that are unaware, Harstem and Wardi are best friends? Question mark. If you remember, it was like a month ago. 2 months ago, Harstem was actually Wardi's best man. Like Wardi, he had his wedding, he got married. It was like, I think 2 months ago at this point. And Harstem was his best man. He was there for his boy. Crazy. Again, we covered that during the podcast earlier this year. As behind this, Cure does go for a 3rd CC before starport. So once again, we have a standard economic open out to Cure. Lambo expanding towards Cure. Okay, very interesting expansion location for Lambo. This base is often not taken, and this is a really bold move. Bearing in mind that there is terrain here that can help punish this base. This is the most difficult base to take and maintain. So best of luck to Lambo. Okay, show us what you got. Show us what you got. I would imagine that this is going to lead Lambo into playing roaches. Like, often if you expand towards your opponent like this, you're going to be getting to roach-based play, into roach-based aggression, I would imagine. So we'll keep an eye on the tech of choice from Lambo. But now getting into link speed. Cure is going for the add-on swap once again into Hellion Banshee. Now, last game, the tell that Cure was going into mech was he was using his Rax to scout and to hunt down the Overlord, and he was not really concerned with add-ons. But here we have a much faster add-on. It looks like bio play out of Cure. Okay. So it did whip out mech and did have success with mech in game 1, but it's going to calm down coming into game 2. It makes sense. This map is much more difficult to be defensive on and to turtle up on. Much more difficult. There it is. Stim is on the way. No cloak. Harstem and Wardi's wedding, that's wholesome. I mean, he was his best man. Like, that was... I don't necessarily know everyone that was at the wedding, but I know that I think Risky was there, Zombrigub was there, Pig, El Chanchito, Fear Dragon. I think Euthermal was there. I think that's it. I think those are all the people that I was able to point out. From my memory. It's Harstem, Euthermal, Loco, Zombrigub, Pig, Spear Dragon. Yeah. From our community, obviously there were more people there that from their personal lives, but those are the SC2 personalities I could point out in the crowd. Yeah, they're good friends. Look, I said Loco. I said Loco. What he said. I think the best part about the wedding, of course, no disrespect, but the best part of the wedding was that whenever you had the audience stands, Hearthstone would tower over everyone. Like Hearthstone's a tall boy, Pap. He's a tall boy, and he definitely did stand out. It's a good like 3 feet above everyone else. It's like, oh my god, Este Hearthstone. It's like crash down, Papi, crash down. Hi. But here we go. Here we go. We're going to be getting into our game. So far, it's been a pretty standard, though. It's been a third CC into Banshee play, no cloak, getting into his bio follow-up, much more standard. Meanwhile, when it came to Lambo's expansion, I expected this to be like a forward launch pad to be aggressive, and it has been allowing him to spread creep more aggressively here in the center, but is going into Lingbane. Just going into Lingbane, getting a 4th base, getting a 5th base, droning up behind this. Nothing too crazy, nothing too special. I say that he's opting to go for the pits before Hydroden, if I recall correctly. Yes, no Hydroden. So basically Lambo is going Lingbane into Ultra. Like, that is the goal. That is the win conditioning for Lambo. It is a little bit risky to try to do this without, you know, a Hydroden or a Spire or any further attack. This tells me that Lambo is very vulnerable to drop play. As you can imagine, the anti-air for Lambo is limited to Queens. He has no Hydras, no Mutas, no Corruptors or anything like that. So drop play can excel. Meanwhile, very nice links around. Locks down the Hellions. Locks down the Hellions. Cure pushing in. Lambo does catch out the Marines as well. A bit of miscontrol out of Cure. You can see the Medivacs, they just abandoned the Marines. Yeah, so Cure with what looks to be maybe a bit of an F2 or a bit of a control group issue there. But throws away Marines, and Lambo has momentum. He has momentum. He has maintained map control. The Hive is on the way, and again, he's one step closer to Ultras, right? Ultras, that's kind of the goal here. Lambo is almost there. He has Cure. He's being active with drops that only drops, right? He can only really deny some creep. Cure, he does get a Gas Geyser. He does get one Gas Geyser behind this. I believe he's on 8 Raxes. He only has one Factory. He's going for a 3 base all in. Okay, so 3 base all in at a Cure. Once again, Cure is not looking. Oh, Jesus. Leading out Marines. Distract on left, losing more Marines here. Yeah, Cure has been slipping up his control. He's been slipping up, and remember, he plans on ending the game soon. Cure not taking his gas is indicative here that you won't get a second factory, you won't get a 4th CC. This is a 3 base all-in out of Cure, but it is a weakened all-in because he's bled out so many Marines already. So far, 31 Marines have gone down. Imagine this push with 31 Marines. I mean, Cure, he'd be maxed. He'd be maxed. So this all-in is weaker for Cure. And Lambo's going for the counterattack. And there's just so much creep here to buy time. So Lambo, he can just posture, he can defend with the bare minimum, and he's going for, oh, actually, never mind, he's setting up for a surround. Okay. Yeah, setting up for the full surround. He comes in from the south, from the top, from the bottom. Collapses on the tanks. And should clean everything up. And tank count's going to be reset. Shuts down most of the bio. And remember, the longer this goes on, the better it is for Lambo. This is an all-in. Like, there's no 4th. There's no 4th. There's no further tech. Kira needs to end the game with this, or at least cripple. He's got to do more. And Lambo can even afford to lose this expansion, right? Like Lambo, he's got the northern base, he has the southern base as well. This center expansion can be given up if need be. Can give it up. Once again, setting up for the surround. Coming in for a flank. And once again, just collapsing the army. Bailey's they crash in. To shut down the Marines, and Lambo, he will make a series out of this. May have lost in game 1 against the mech, but here in game 2, he shuts down the biotank. Forces back Cure and does capitalize on his mistakes. Again, Cure, he was slipping up in the mid game. He was bleeding out so many Marines. As we mentioned, 31 Marines were killed in the mid game. Weakening the push, slowing down the all-in. And there it is. Cure, he admits that the all-in has failed. 4th CC, a very late 4th expansion. This is Cure admitting that he cannot end the game anymore, that the game will continue, and that he has to try to macro. But it's late. It's very late. 3-3 has already begun for Lambo. We have the Ultra Cavern on the way. We have the Viper production as well. And will Cure even survive until the Ultras? As the Ultra Cavern is done. So far, Lambo just keeping up the drops. Liberators are being annoying. I mean, I say annoying, they're getting some damage done. 9 drones. 9 drones go down. This is distracting Lambo. This is giving Cure the freedom to expand. Just because Lambo's been so busy. And Lambo, he should shut this down. Even if it's an inefficient fight, he should do what it takes to break the space. And to make sure that Cure doesn't stabilize. If Cure can get this 4th base up and running, then Cure can make a game out of this. But he shouldn't be able to. Landing thoughts are coming in. And nice spotting cat here on the bio. Thing being rolls forward. The mine. Oh my god, the mine shots. Jesus, the mine shots are insane. And Cure, he will defend. Oh, yeah. Those are some crazy mine shots. Cure holds on at the same time. Nice run by, nice counterattack. 13 SCVs go down. So Cure, he defends against the main army, but he is still caught with the backstab. Still caught up by the run by. Cure's moving in. Another lane counterattack. It does get does get an extra SCV. Now Ultras are reviving. Lambo pulling the boys getting desperate. Lambo is getting desperate here. Decent blinding clouds. Lambo is holding. He's holding on. And with help of the Ultras, he should have enough. It's going to be close. Remember, there are no ghosts. No ghosts, just Marines, Marauders, and Liberators. Here, he's barely holding on. Fungal doesn't quite land. But the Ultras are enough. Yeah, they're enough. Lambo, he holds, he defends, he cleans up the bio army here. Cure, he is down to, barely any mining here. He's down to 50 SCVs. Cure cannot maintain himself. Here, Lambo should be fine. Lambo, he's already rebuilt, he's already remaxed. We have 5 more ultras on the way. We have Microbial Shroud on the way as well. I don't think that's quite necessary, but sure, it'll help. We get to see the new Microbial Shroud for like the 3rd time this patch. It's been a very rare upgrade, but it has its place, has its uses. Oh, and nice power bombs. As Lambo does trickle in. Catching out more drops. Cure landing his main base as he has floated over. Floats over the main. Again, Lambo being a little bit wasteful here, but overall he's still just getting more damage. Yeah, still just trading. He's still just out trading. Nice fungal. Ultras they collapse in. And this base should fall. Yeah, the base should fall. GG gets called. Lambo ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We're going to game 3. Again, Cure, he had originally built up towards a 3-base all-in. He built up into an 8-rax, but in the lead up to the all-in, he was very wasteful when it came to his army. He lost so many Marines in the lead up. This made sure that the all-in was weaker. It meant that it was delayed and later as well. Every second that passed did give Lambo more time to build up his forces, get ready for the counterattack, and to shut down Cure. Not just that, but also because of the terrain, because of the map itself, it is so much easier to surround the army. We saw that Lambo time and time again was coming in from behind, had multiple attack paths, very open center of course, and was able to lock down Cure, I believe twice in his attempt at all-in. GG. GG, well played. So again, very nice defense there from Lambo, and Cure with a fumbled mid-game and fumbled aggression. And with that, we're getting into the ace match. We'll see how this story ends as we load into Winter Madness. Let's go. Let's go. Is Lambo semi-retired? No. Lambo, he's been full-time, right? This entire time. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the German Zerg player. We have the Teal Zerg. Representing Shopify Rebellion, it is Lambo. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. We go. But no, Lambo, he's playing as he always does. The thing with Lambo is, we did mention this previously, Lambo, he often does not play in online cups and in online tournaments. Lambo, he usually only does really focus on like major premier events. He's mentioned this before, but he doesn't really like online tournament formats, just because of the downtime, just because of being covered and casted on a regular basis. Like, he's just not very fond of it. So he often does avoid open cups, which is why we appreciate that he's here, right? It's quite rare to see Lambo in an open cup, so really cool to see him. Despite the fact that he's not very fond of it. The downside of that is, as he's expressed himself, and it kind of feeds into itself, is that Lambo, he often lacked motivation to compete and improve unless there's a big major premier event, and often the online tournaments and open cups don't really do it for him. So that's often why he has a bit of a spike during the season, during the on season of StarCraft, and then he dips down, then he spikes up, then he dips down. Again, it just depends on whether or not he has something to work towards. But that is something he's been vocal about. From here, we are going to be building up. And again, so far we have made our way into the ace match. We're going to be loading into Winter Madness. Winter Madness is a much larger map in the map pool, much larger map, longer rushes to spike round, more defendable. If Cure were to be a little bit more passive and defensive, this would be ideal. We could even see mech here. Like, this is the most defensive map in the current tournament map pool. So this is going to favor the Terran player if they decide to be a little bit more defensive, or I say even defensive, I say they can still be active with drops while turtling up with his reinforcements, with tanks, with Bio, with SimCity as well. This is going to be a much more difficult map for Lambo to be aggressive on. Now, I say that there are ways to be aggressive on Winter Madness. This is where Mutaplay is more viable, right? Especially with the buff to the Spire, with it reducing and taking less time, with it being more accessible, we could see Mutaplay instead out of Lambo on Winter Madness. Seen it quite a bit, could see it again. Here we go, as Lambo does take his third. Once again does expand towards the Terran player. The downside is it's more exposed. The upside is that he can spread creep faster across the map. I do like this specifically on Winter Madness though, just because the likelihood of Cure being aggressive is much lower. Don't watch Wardi a lot, but I truly respect his hustle and dedication to StarCraft. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Like Wardi, he has dedicated a lot to StarCraft. I would say Wardi costs less nowadays. Like we've done the math. We cost more StarCraft than anyone else out there. But reality is that he's been costing for longer, right? It's like, especially during Heart of the Swarm, like Wardi alongside base trade, right? Like they were grinding hard, very very hard during Heart of the Swarm. Into Early Legacy. As from here, we're just building up. Third TC into Banshee play. Once again, just a standard opener. Oh, and we brought it up for a reason. We spoke about how mech would be ideal in this map just because this is the most defensive map in the map pool. And there it is, mech. Mech once again, not a cure. Oh boy. So it's going to be difficult for Lambo to punish this. Once again, I'll reiterate that Mutaplay is an option. Is going to be an option here for Lambo if he did want to go for a Spire, but we can see that Lambo, he went for a standard timing with the lair. He's going double Eva Chamber. This is indicative of Ling Bane, not of Mutaplay. Oh, even going for Hyperflight Rotors. Okay. Banshees move in. 2 Banshees into the main base. And they will one-shot. 3 drone kills so far, not bad. So this is going to be a battle mech composition with Banshee supports. Because we're getting into Hyperflight Rotors, the plan is to continue Banshee production. Is to continue. And ooh, Lambo is yet to confirm. Just now going in, just now confirms all the factories. Now he knows. Yeah, now he knows. He was already going into 1-1 upgrades, which means he might once again go into Ling Bane Hydra. I'm still not very fond of Ling Bane Hydra against mech, but I mean that's what we have. It's difficult to make a hard switch into roaches from here, but we'll see. Just because he's already invested so much and so heavily into Ling Bane. Yeah, he's going for the pit. Okay. With that, he can get safety infestors. Is he going to skip Hydras entirely? No shot. Queens are... They should hold their own. They're quite tanky. Okay. He's not skipping Hydra, so it is going to be Ling Bane Hydra. Meanwhile, the Hellions, they do burn through all those Lings. They break through the Lings. We have Ling Bane trying to collapse in, but once again, the Hellions, they should shut that down. As long as they avoid this around. They're now pulling away. The Queens, they do survive. Queens deflect. Banshees move in for a backstab. And we have still more Hellions reinforcing. Banshees, they poke in. Same time, Hellions, they do bust into the mineral line. Oof. Bursting up drones. Nice Bailey connections though. So 16 drones go down, but the Baileys, they will clean this up. Not the most efficient fight here from Lambo. Sorry, from Cure, I'm to say. As Cure will lose the army. So an expensive trade. That was 21 Hellions for 18 drones. And of course, the Link Bay. So a bit of a back and forth. Banshees did survive. And behind this, now we're switching into more Cyclones. Switching into that battle mech. With the pit being done, we should be working towards Infestors soon. Now, once again, the goal and the advantage here of going Lane Bane Hydra against mech is that it's very mobile, and ideally you want to surround. Ideally, you want to lock down and surround the Cyclones, and be able to outposition the Terran player. Be able to outposition the mech. If you fail to do so, then in a head-on fight, the mech player is favored for sure. Are going to be favored. So again, it's just it's a very glass cannon kind of setup here for Lambo. Ooh, was the Banshees, they find more damage, they get a Queen, they get 1, they get 2. They get 3? Jesus. 3 Queens go down. That does cost him a couple of Banshees though. It's 2 Banshees with 3 Queens. Now to make once again poking in. Denying creep. See, Curie peels off a couple of Hellions into the mineral line. 4 Hellions for 5 drones. Banshees pull away. Jesus, nice catch. Catching little 3 Banshees. Meanwhile, Curie does catch every single Queen. Oh, that's 6 Queens going down. Lambo setting up with the surround. This is his moment. Yeah, this is his moment, but the Hellbats morph in. Uh-oh. But that's Curie's trapped, and Curie should lose this army. Should be a bigger win for Lambo. Collapsing in. Knocks down most of the Hellbats. And we'll clean this up. But nice control, even pulls away the links towards the end and making sure they are as efficient as possible. And Curie will lose most of his army. Lambo has map control. Let's go. He has control, he has momentum. Now is the time to counterattack. Hydras, they zone away the Hellions. Lambo, he'll max out. He maxes out. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to counterattack. I feel like this is a bit of a missed opportunity here. Cure, I mean, the bases are very spread out, and Cure, he would be out positioned if he tried to hit top left. Lambo, he was a little bit more passive. 5 more drones. As Curie, he's been given time to rebuild. Okay, so Curie's rebuilt, he's remaxed. He's working on his bank. And meanwhile, we have lurkers. Okay. Lurker. We got one lurker here for Lambo. Interesting. Lambo going for the center left expansion. Gets a full surround. And we'll bring it down. Nice snipe at the same time he does go for center right. Taking down 2 bases. Very nice. This base will be just retaken. So one base is going to be retaken instantly, but the other did go down. So not bad here for Lambo, trading out his army for 2 expansions. This slows down the economy, that is true, but the main army from Curie is still looking terrifying. Curie is still up in army supply. And Curie just has to avoid this surround. Remember earlier he overextended, so he has to be so careful with his movement. Alize peel off into the mineral line. Oof. Nice use of A-Link, so that's still going to be 13 dead workers. Drones go down. Lambo collapsing in. At least trying to. Gets a CC. Does get 1, does get 2. Okay. 2 more CCs going down. Brings down the planetary. Going for another base. Lambo being very active, knocking down these bases back and forth. Cure just cannot get a 5th. Sorry, he cannot get a 4th. Just can't get his 4th up and running. We're getting messy. Unlike a mothership, Curie, he doesn't have a bank to be able to switch into BCs and into Thors. Like that was something that only was allowed for Curie just because he had a massive economy and a massive base count. That is not the case here. So he is stuck with his battle mech army. I say that he's now switching into mass tank, okay? He's making that switch. A little bit surprised that we still don't have any infestors. Again, it's so difficult to surround this kind of army and get the setup for it, but infestors do actually alleviate some of that. So I can just lock down the army with a spell. With fungals. So a little bit surprising we never really got there. Lurker upgrades are done. We have 1 lurker morphing in. Jesus. Cure is maxed. Cure still has, I would say, the better army. Comes down to the engage. Lambo coming in from behind. Nice kiting here against the Link Bane. And Bailey's they crash into mainly tanks. Yeah, Curie takes the fight. He takes the fight, pushes in, going for the expansion. Lambo, he has to give it up. Let's get the hell out of here. And again, that was just a really rough engage from Lambo. I would have preferred this if we had just gone for the counterattack from the beginning. But it's going for the run by. Oh, with this planetary. The planetary is done. Army turns around. And Curie, he will defend. He will lose a couple of tanks. But Lambert's hurting. Lambert's hurting, he's in danger. He's got the 1 random lurker. Drew, I guess. No, never mind. Oof. Secure has momentum. Taking another base. On the one hand, Curious had a really hard time getting a 4th and 5th. So was Lambo. Like, Lambo's also been struggling to expand. Not getting his 5th base. His drone up to 80. Curie does keep splitting up. This time doesn't get the base, but he will get another. The nice bottom left. And still has top right. Oh, now going to Mass Viper. I mean, this will help. He can abduct the Cyclones. Abduct tanks. Jesus, but there's nothing to defend. No, you'll lose the mineral line. 13 drones go down. Lambo's out of position. And Lambo is hurting. And Vipers are great and all, but there are still so many Cyclones left over. Locals, they don't care about your blinding clouds. Meanwhile, center base is denied. Hellions, they bust into top right. They get another mineral line. The base. And they're looking for a way in. Oof. And he will get some kind of damage done. Center left going down. We spoke earlier how Curie couldn't really afford switching to BCs yet, but hey, now we go to 5 bases, and here come the battle cruisers. Oh. And Lambo's not ready for this. He's not ready for BCs. The lurkers are getting cornered. Lambo, he cannot get out. He will lose everything, and losing 4 lurkers across the map. Ay, ay, ay. I say 4, that was 5. It's 5 lurkers going down. Reacting. Rotating. Now, the problem with BCs as they arrive, I believe there's no... Sorry, there is a Greater Spire, but there's no Corruptors currently. There's no upgrades for the Spire either. So no upgrades. Lack of Corruptors. Lack of Anti-Air. Nice run by. BCs are revealed early. Okay. BCs are revealed. Lambo has time to react. He's going to bleed out a lot of Zerglings in the process. Jeez, oh my god. At the same time, Lambo moving in. He bleeds off 50 Lings. But once again, denies some of the expansions. So Models are popping off. Cyclones react. The Lurkers are a little bit too far behind. Oh, we're just getting free damage here. Free Lurkers. As Lurkers are getting cornered, more Lurkers going down. Down to 6. And it's just been really chaotic. Like there's not been much else going on. Just like constant run bys, counterattacks. Like both players are hurting economically. Lambo's down to 65 workers. Curie's down to 54. We're floating over the main base. That's how desperate Cure is for an economy. Meanwhile, drones, they transfer over and the center base goes down. They're both broke back. Not like this. Okay, what's the mining looking like? We've been here before. So the center base, we're out. We're out of minerals. We're out of mining. Same with the naturals. Same with the main. What do we have at the triangular third? Nothing here either. There's one expansion essentially. Lambo's got 1 base mining, and even then, it's mining out as well. So Lambo's down to 1. And the scary thing for Cure is that he has a relatively untouched base on the left side and in the center as well. Because these bases were denied for so long, there's still a lot of resources available here for Cure. Meanwhile, Lambo's already mined out. Like Lambo's been that much less. He's been that much less efficient. He's already mined out. This right side now is the most important area of the map for Lambo, and he cannot lose these bases. Not again. So he's turtling up. He's turtling up. We have spine crawlers, spore crawlers, a line of lurkers. Lambo, he recognizes just how important this position is. He does recognize. Infestor production has begun. And we'll see if Lambo can lock this area down. Meanwhile, because of this game state, Cure, he has no planetaries. True. So run-bys are going to be that much more effective, as the bases cannot defend themselves. Lambo working towards Microbial Shroud and making 6 more Infestors. Now, once again, with a very high Infestor army, Lambo has a lot of potential to win the fight. He can neural the tanks, neural the BCs, neural the Liberators. A lot of this will come down to the neurals. He can, of course, fungal the Battle Mech. But we do have a better response this time. Cure, he's switching into Ghost production. Now, the ideal, like the late game composition for Terran and TvZ is Mech Ghost. Like, Mech Ghost in combination, like, is kind of the perfect army. So Curie's getting there. As Ghost, their EMP is going to be crucial. I mean, it snipes as well, I suppose. But if you can EMP those Infestors, that can be game. Good vibes are revealed. EMP does graze the Vipers. Meanwhile, the Infestors were lagging behind, but now they're coming in. How many Infestors do we have? 20! Oh, Jesus. That's a lot of Infestors. That's arguably too many Infestors, to be honest. We gotta be careful. It's one of those moments where Lambo, he's got to split this up into like 3 different control groups and make sure he doesn't run in with everything at once. There we go. Ideally, he wants to split up some of these Infestors. If they clump up, then 1 or 2 EMPs will catch all of them. So you want to keep them spread. Lords are morphing in. Currently, there are no Corruptors. 3, sorry. Seduction, but oof, the spells still go up. The armor missile does connect. Base is going down. Brood Lords are extending. Oof, sniping 2 Broods. Again, Lambo cannot afford to lose this position. Gas Geyser goes down. Lambo setting for a counterattack instead. Shots going off. Here, what's the plan? Here he gets within range of the mineral line. Ooh, he will deny mining. We spoke about it. This is the most important base here for Lambo. At the same time, Cure is also denied mining as well. Lambo cutting Cure off. SCVs. Oh my god, they rally into the lurkers. Massive lurker shots getting 12 SCV kills. And Lambo's going for the kill. He's going for the kill. I'm still concerned about the 20 Infestors. That he has too many. But sure. EMP doesn't quite connect. But Lambo will lose 2 Infestors. Down to 18. Down to 18. Cure, he's going for the counterattack. He does get a full mineral line, and this is all the mining. This is the only mining left for Lambo. He will lose his expansion. No economy. What you see is what you get. Now, this is still a very efficient army. Oh, the snipes! Oh my god. Snipes that catch out all the lurkers. There's 4 lurkers left. So we teleport back home. Oh, sorry, teleports so actually to the left-hand side, denying more mining. It just ensuring that Lambo has no economy. So unsteady here for Cure. And mass neural on the Thors. We have again 18 infestors left. So it comes down to the EMPs. If the infestors get EMP'd, then that's game. So much riding on this. EMPs, they connect with 2 infestors, but remember there's still 16 left. Production is going down. Remember, Cure still has mining. He still has center left and top right, so he still has mining going on. He still has production. Lambo, his production tab is empty because Lambo's broke. Like Lambo, he has no money. He has no mining. Ooh, he attempts a neural. He attempts going for the chain fungal and going for the microbo shot instead. Lambo panicking a little bit here. Yeah, he should not fight head on. He should not fight head on like this. And Lambo, he will lose everything. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, BC's overwhelmed, and this is not the fight to take. GG gets called. And Cure, he will overwhelm. He will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played. I mean, Lambo was in a worse position just because his armor was getting smaller and smaller over time. In the end, he just went for it. Just went for that one final fight. Again, as we mentioned, in a head-on fight, Lambo had a worse composition. Ideally, he did want to pick away at the army and make best use of his infestors, just catching key units here and there, but alas, did commit. GG. GG, well played. Cure will advance on into the next round, into the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played. With that, we are going to be going on a short break. We're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we will have the semis. We'll have Cure versus MaxPax, and that lead into the grand finals. When it comes to this series here, again, really impressive play out of Lambo to force Cure to the ace match is really impressive. Really impressive play, considering that Lambo has been a little bit less active as of late. To see him taking it to Cure is an impressive feat, 100%. When it comes to Cure's play, we saw that on Tourmaline, he had a bit of a harder time. I mean, the map was working against him there. Like, Tourmaline is very, very difficult to not get surrounded on. Meanwhile, we still had a really intense back and forth, whether it was a game 1 on Mothership or game 3 here on Winter Madness. We saw so much action, so much engagements going on with non-stop counterattacks, bases going down, hatcheries going down, CCs going down as well. It was very chaotic. At the end of the day, it still just came down to the economy. It came down to the fact that Cure had defendable mining bases, and Lambo didn't. Right? Lambo, he didn't. GG. GG, well played. He was just torn apart, couldn't maintain his own economy, and in the end, Cure did take it. But with that, again, we're going to be cutting to a break, so we'll see you guys soon after the break with Cure versus MaxPax in the semis. See you soon. See you soon.